Hello there. Greetings to you, my friends around the world. I welcome you to another edition of eLife Mentoring. Today is the Valentine edition of eLife Mentoring. We call it Valentine Mentoring. We're going to look at our topic as advertised. Married and unhappy. Where has love gone? Married and unhappy. Where has love gone? We want to look at the dynamics of love. We want to look at the dynamics of marriage, the dynamics of forgiveness, perhaps the totality of marriage, and where has love gone. For the first time, we are bringing in a guest to discuss this issue with me. This is the first edition where I will have a guest, and I have invited one person that is quite interesting, and you will enjoy his interpretations of my question and this topic today. He is a man I have known for a very long time. I met him first through this television program called Hosanna Hour. He has done quite a lot of work on marriage, on relationship, on forgiveness, and is an author of so many books. Some of his books include Bedroom Secrets. Another one is a sexual response and marriage. Another book he has written is Love Thermometer, among several books he has done. He will join me very shortly, and we're going to be looking at some issues concerning marriage in this Valentine edition of eLife Mentoring. We'll be looking at the types of love that we have. We will also be looking at issues about divorce. I mean, you look at people, they will say that some people will tell you when they're married, and marriages always have their challenges in the first 5 years, that most divorces that we see in marriage always happen in the first 5 years. And of course, we've seen some marriages that go beyond 5 years. We've seen marriages that go beyond 5 years and see so many of them. I mean, few of them are in their 10th year, 15th year, 20th year, still they divorce. What actually happened? Where has love gone? We're going to look at the issue of forgiveness. We're going to look at so many issues that it will be quite interesting to you. I thank you so much, my friends, for being there. Please join me in welcoming my friend. We call him the Love Coach, the author of several books, Mr. Diji Issac. Mr. Diji Issac, I welcome you to this Valentine edition.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
You're welcome so much. I welcome you, my brother.
Thank you.
This is the first Valentine we'll be doing in what we call it in COVID. Valentine in a COVID. How do you see that?
COVID doesn't affect Valentine.
Really?
It doesn't affect love. Love never dies. So whether COVID or no COVID, love must go on.
Oh, wow. Wow. I like that. COVID or no COVID, love must go on. Yeah. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's look at it now. I mean, I've invited you here today to discuss this issue of love with me. When I put up this discussion, the flyer all over the internet, and the question is, where has love gone? There have been a lot of pejorative responses to it. People will say, love has gone to the ocean. Some will say, is there love, and stuff like that. Tell me, my brother, is there love? Does love exist?
Of course, love exists. Love exists. And as a matter of fact, love never fails. But there's a confusion in the minds of people as to what love is. People don't get the true definition of what love is. The way you love your dog, the way you love your children, the way you love your friends, the way you love your car. They're all different kinds of love, but it takes one English word to describe them all. And so that English word is causing confusion in the minds of people.
Tell me, when we say love,
yeah,
what are the types of love? I thought maybe there could be only one love. Are there different types of love?
I was just telling you about how love is different and how you can apply them differently. So there are about 5 types of love. The first one and the major one is the God kind of love called the agape love. the church kind of love, the God kind of love, love without reason, unconditional love. And the next one is eros, which has to do with chemistry, how you feel about the opposite partner. The next one is phileo, friendship kind of love.
Really?
Friendship, brotherly love. It has nothing to do with sex, it has nothing to do with church, it is just brotherly love. And the next one you have is what I call family love. They call it storge, but it's what I call family love. It is because we come from the same place. We come from the same corn. We are cut from the same corn. For example, you are in Japan, you meet somebody speaking your language, speaking Yoruba, for instance. Immediately, you take to the person and begin to love them. Why? Because there is a relationship between where you come from and where they come from.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
the last one is positional love. I call positional love because people love you when you have position of power. And so a lot of people are confused by what love is. So if you meet me or you meet anybody and you want to ask them about love, there should be specificity. Why do you love the person? What kind of love are we talking about here? If you can do that, then you begin to get a grip on what love is all about.
I love that. The 5 types of love you mentioned, the eros love, the agape love, the filial love, the filial love, and the, what do you call the 5th one now? Positional love. Now, the issue is that all over the world today, what we see is people loving the other because of something. Positional love. Now, tell me, is that love? Is that love?
It is love out of greed. Love out of the fact that people just want to get something from you. I love you because you can take care of me. I love you because you're a good person and you're working so and so place. I can get contracts from you. So it is love of greed. Can you see that?
I can imagine. If that is it now, and I want to believe that this is the love all over the place now. Because if it is not so, why is it that you are married to me, under 5 years, we have divorced? Tell me, where has love gone?
Love has gone to ignorance. Love is not playing by the rules. Everything in life plays by the rules. And the rules, they never change. People don't care to study rules and regulations before they go ahead and either get married or begin to say they are in love with somebody. When you are in love with somebody, you must understand why you are in love with somebody or what you're looking at. For example, love is different from marriage. Love has no condition, but marriage has purposes and conditions.
Love has no conditions, but marriage has purposes and conditions.
Exactly.
Tell me.
So you must tie both of them if you want a good marriage. Because what is happening is that people come with expectations in their marriages, and when the expectations are no longer there, the marriage begins to break down. So when you say love has gone to the dogs or love has gone to ignorance, it is because people have left the very reason why they got married. And all of the imagination they had about love is no longer playing out.
Tell me, when you talk about having purposes for marriage, if I will pick a wife, what should I look out for? What should be the very first thing to look out for in picking a wife?
The very first thing you look out for,
or in picking a husband.
The very first thing you look out for in picking a wife, for instance, is looking at your life and see where your life is going. Everybody has a destiny and they are going somewhere. You don't need to pick somebody who is going in an opposite direction. I'll give you an example. Your calling or what you think you're supposed to be like a pastor. You don't go and pick an actress who is kissing on TV all over the place. It's not going to do you good. And so you must marry who you are with who you're supposed to be with. Because whoever you marry is about coming to help you.
I think one of the challenges we have is that the younger generation who goes into marriage these days, many of them don't even really know where they are going into before they pick a wife. Please, I want you to talk to the younger generation.
Well, this is very important. Everyone has a destiny. Everyone has a purpose in his life. And so that becomes the primary reason why you marry. You marry people who can help your purpose. There's no marriage in heaven, as it were, but marriage is supposed to help a man to have a synergistic effect on his destiny, to be able to fast forward. Now, if you marry somebody who has nothing to do with your purpose, then you are several days or several ways behind, what you are called to do or what your life's purposes are. You need to marry somebody who is supposed to help you forward.
Now, let's look at it. Pundits, research have shown that marriages that will collapse always happen in the first 5 years.
Yes.
Why the first 5 years?
The first 5 years is because the 5 stages of love come into play in the first 5 years.
5 stages of love?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Love has stages. The infantile stage, where you have infatuation. The honeymoon stage, where you are blending and mending and romancing. Are you there? Then the third stage is the disappointment stage, where everything you thought about this man or this woman is no longer playing out. The fourth stage becomes the decision age, where you have to take a decision whether to stay or to leave. And when you decide to stay, you now begin to build everlasting love, because you know this is my call, I have to deal with it.
But I have seen situations where marriages that have gone 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, still collapses. Tell me, what would have happened after staying together for such a long time and still the marriage collapse?
When the foundations are wrong in a building, you can only manage it this far. When the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The super book says. And so it is a case of foundations, wrong foundations. I'll give an example. Everybody has something that tickles them. Every man has something that tickles them in a woman. And so you marry a woman who doesn't have those features that tickle you. You become an impotent man. Because your passion cannot be ignited. I'll give an example. If you like your woman with figure 8, and then you marry a figureless woman, what happens? You don't get the passion you need. Passion is power. And so you can become an impotent man.
In situations like that,
Yes.
that later in life,
Yes.
you find out that this woman is not freaking me any longer. That look, I'm looking towards the north, and my wife is looking towards the east.
Yeah.
Look, how do you reconcile?
You have to do a re-engineering. We now have these kids, we now have this house, we now have these issues. Now let's re-engineer our focus.
Re-engineer.
Yes.
Now, is it the man to now give up his dreams and follow the passion of the
You
woman?
have to meet at a point. There should be a meeting point. There must be sacrifices. You have to sacrifice certain things that originally you wanted, and then meet at the middle road where you can now carry on and become contented.
Tell me, love coach, in areas where the man find a lot of discrepancies, either in morality or in something about his wife, and then people will say, look, you have to learn how to forgive. Tell me, do you learn how to forgive? Is forgiveness a thing you learn?
The good book says, learn to do well. We can learn, we can always learn. You can learn to forgive if you don't know how to forgive. Remember, love is sacrifice. Remember, love is putting yourself aside to be able to help another person without reason. And so if love becomes your real thing, then you can sacrifice anything. Our Lord Jesus sacrificed his life for the whole world, as it were.
Tell me about forgiveness. What is forgiveness? People talk about unforgiveness. That earlier when we were discussing, you told me something about poison. Tell me about unforgiveness. Why is forgiveness very important in marriage?
Forgiveness is important because if you know the damage it will cause you, you'll be the first to forgive.
Tell me about the damage.
The unforgiveness is like preparing a cup of poison to kill your enemy, but you end up drinking the cup of poison.
Hold on. Unforgiveness is like
A cup of poison.
a cup of poison that you produce a cup of coffee. I mean, a
A
cup of poison
to kill your
to
enemy.
kill your enemy, but
Yes.
you end up taking
You end up
the poison.
I'll give you an example again.
Explain, please.
It's like trying to make sure that the rat killer, which you bought, is not a fake one. Therefore, you decided to eat the killer. You want to test it to see if it's a real one. What do you end up doing?
Tell me.
The rat killer will kill you. And so that's the way unforgiveness is. When you prepare it because you have the intention that it will hurt the other person, but it ends up hurting you. So if you only knew that it's for your own health to forgive, you'll be the first to forgive. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, I forgive people 10 years ahead. I don't care what you're going to do, I'm forgiving you already.
Forgiving people 10 years ahead.
Exactly.
Let's look at it this way. When the man misbehaves, or let me give a typical example. The wife catches the husband in adultery. The society expects the wife to forgive the man. Say, oh, well, he's your husband, you just have to forgive him. What will happen? But when the man catches his wife in adultery, only God will set such a men that will forgive the wife. At that level, they are very few. Why is it that it's so difficult for the man to forgive his wife in issues like these?
First and foremost, I must say that forgiveness should be reciprocal. It shouldn't be for the man or for the woman. But the way it is a woman is a receiver and a container and a multiplier. A woman is a receiver, a container, and a multiplier. Whatever she receives, she multiplies. Can you see that? A man is just a giver. A giver. He just gives out. And so when there's an issue with a woman, when a woman is in adultery, there's a tendency that there's going to be multiplication. Because she's a receiver of the content. Now, but when a man who just gives, it can be stopped from giving. Does it make sense?
I don't get you. I don't get you right.
A man is a seed. A seed. A woman is a multiplier. Now, if the woman catches adultery, are you hearing what's going to happen? There's going to be multiplication. Yes. But a man is different. And so there is a tendency to understand that everything you allow a woman to do, she's going to multiply.
So is that the reason why the man will not forgive the woman?
I'm just telling you why men don't understand how to forgive the situation. But forgiveness is supposed to be reciprocal.
Well, like I was discussing much earlier, when the man and his wife, when the couple have issues at home, and it becomes a kind of shouting match, the society always think the woman should come down first. Look, tell me, who blinks first? Who blinks first? When the husband and wife have altercation and stuff, who blinks first?
No, well, there's no rule as to who should blink first. A man could be more forgiving. A woman could also be more forgiving. The issue is that the person who forgives first has the interest of relationship at heart. And generally, women are more emotional, so they have a tendency to forgive first. Because they are always considering their children. They're always considering where they're coming from and how they don't want to go back.
That's a funny one. That's a funny one. You say women are more emotional and they have a tendency to forgive first. I am still discussing with my brother, the love coach, Mr. Issac Diji, the author of many books on relationship and marriage. Let's look at it again. The human life. The human life without love. You know, God says something that I am love. It's a thing so difficult for a lot of people to understand. When God says I am love, what do you think God is talking about? What are we to learn from God in the areas of love?
To learn from God, if you want to look at how God has shown us in His pattern, He showed us that He makes sacrifices for humans. Are you hearing me? For God so loved the world He gave. God loves us. And so because He loves us and He doesn't want us to die, He gives us. That's love of God. And if we are to learn from God, when we love our partners, we must give. And in giving, we should be wholehearted. As a matter of fact, if you want to look at it from the scriptural perspective, a man is supposed to give his life for his wife.
Give his life for his wife.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's the godly example.
That's the godly example there. How practicable is that here? You think the men we have in the world today will say, I'm ready to die for my wife?
Death is not cessation.
Death in what sense are you talking about?
Death is not cessation, it's separation. Death is not cessation, it is separation. Separating myself from my rights in order to make you happy, in order to bring about contentment in your life.
That's the understanding of death now.
Exactly.
I see. Tell me another question I want to ask you. Pundits have said that women are stronger than men, that the only sense that men are stronger than women is only the physical sense. Do you agree? So women are
stronger than men because of the fact that they have the sixth sense.
Sixth sense?
Yes.
How do you mean?
Men have 5 senses. Women have 6 senses. A woman can tell you this your friend is not good. Why? She doesn't know, but she can feel it. But a man is logical. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 2 = 4. A woman is 1 + 1 = 1 sometimes. Equals 10 sometimes. A woman brings about synergy in the life of a man.
Wow.
So if you look at the power of a woman, then you will know that they are indeed multipliers. They multiply everything. They incubate and multiply everything. Give the woman groceries, she will give you food. Give the woman a house, she will give you a home. Give her a sperm, she will give you children. Give her frustration, she gives you hell. They are stronger.
That's quite interesting. Now I can look at it now. I wonder, societies where they have a kind of they underrate women. I mean, what are they losing? I mean, I've seen societies where when the wife has the first child, baby girl, second one, baby girl, third one, baby girl, there are issues. Can you speak to?
You're talking about the issues in the third world where women take a second position.
Exactly.
And that's why they are where they are. That's why they are third world and not first or second. Because they don't understand the importance. And they don't allow themselves to be able to glean and learn from the power, the sixth power, or the sixth sense power of the woman.
Tell me, I want you to advise women who have found themselves in this kind of situation. That, I mean, how do they take heart? You have first child with baby girl, second baby girl, third baby girl, and your husband is threatening you or the family.
The advice is simple. The man is still short of knowing what the woman can bring to the table. And if he do better, he will do better. The problem is, he's still having problem with ignorance. So take consolation from the fact that he doesn't know as much as you do. And that if he knew better, he will treat you better. If you read the Holy Book, it says when you are quarreling with your wife, God will not hear your prayers.
That's difficult sometimes. I mean, the first time I read that in the Bible, that when you are quarreling with your wife, it has a way of negatively impacting on your prayers, that God will not hear your prayer. That's a big weapon, my brother.
It's a big weapon because 1 + 1 is supposed to be 10 when you have your wife involved. Are you hearing me? But when you're quarreling, 1 + 1 is just equals 1. Now, the devil, if you ask me, the devil knows how it works. So if he wants to bring about separation of powers, if he wants to reduce the power of marriage, what it does is to bring enmity between the man and the wife, so that they don't have that synergistic force to chase 10,000.
Hello there, my friends. I'm sure you have gained one or two things today from my discussion with the love coach. I thank you so much for coming here today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
I call it the Valentine edition.
Okay.
I believe I'll still invite you here. Maybe when we're doing what we call it the Mother's Day or the Father's Day celebration, so that we'll be able to look at all these dimensions of love and how it transpires in our family.
All right. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Anytime, call upon me anytime.
Thank you so much. I thank you, my friends. I thank you for watching. I believe you gained one or two things in this Valentine broadcast on eLife Mentoring. Till I come your way again on Saturday, same time, I believe the Lord will be with you. I want you to come with me to my our channel on YouTube, so that you can see all we have done, and you can learn more about mentoring. I want you to click on it. I want you to subscribe on it, and also click on the notification, so that you will be able to learn so much about eLife Mentoring. Thank you so much. The Lord bless you. I'll see you next week, same time. Thank you so much. You're welcome.